some buildings don't just sit abandoned. They're claimed. Claimed by people with nowhere else to go, by secrets no one talks about, and by moments that turn curiosity into fear. In this video, we're breaking down some of the most disturbing abandoned building encounters ever caught on camera. Moments where explorers walked into places they never should have and barely made it out. Before we continue, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support truly means the world to us. Now let's get started. The most disturbing video of the night comes from Urbex, a creator known for documenting abandoned and restricted locations that most people wouldn't dare step into. His explorations usually focus on forgotten schools, collapsing hospitals, deserted factories, and homes left to rot. But on August 15, 2022, his camera captured something far more unsettling than crumbling walls or broken floors. That day, Chris traveled into East Cleveland, an area long affected by economic collapse, corruption, and violent crime. The video doesn't just show abandoned buildings, it exposes the harsh reality of what happens when entire neighborhoods are left behind. As Chris approaches one of the structures, something outside immediately stops him in his tracks. At first glance, it looks like mannequins standing near the entrance, frozen in stiff, unnatural poses. But as he gets closer, the truth becomes horrifyingly clear. These aren't mannequins, they're people. Real individuals standing upright, completely unresponsive, their expressions vacant, their bodies rigid as if locked in place. They don't acknowledge him, they don't move, they don't react as he walks past them. The sight is deeply unsettling. Not aggressive, not threatening, just disturbingly wrong.
I've been in most of these before. Oh shit. Damn. Oh shit. That's crazy looking. Oh shit. Bro, that is crazy. What the fuck?
Inside the building, the atmosphere only grows darker. The rooms are filled with scattered personal belongings, old photographs, clothing, trash, abandoned electronics, even a television left behind as if someone fled in a hurry. The space feels lived in, but not safely occupied. Chris quickly realizes the structure itself is unstable, and the environment is far more dangerous than he expected. As he makes his way toward the exit, he notices something that turns his stomach. Dark stains streaking across the floor. Blood. Fresh enough to raise questions no one wants answered. Even more disturbing, when he steps back outside, the people he saw earlier haven't moved an inch. They're still standing in the same positions, unmoved by everything happening around them. Shaken but determined to continue documenting what he's seeing, Chris heads to another abandoned building nearby. This one is in even worse condition.
It's a flat screen TV. What the hell? Damn, it's like they just left immediately and left everything behind. Even more blood stains on the floor. That's crazy. That is sad as fuck. Bro. Wow.
The walls are crumbling, the air thick with dust and decay, and the silence feels heavy. Just as he's about to leave, he notices a basement entrance. Against his better judgment, curiosity gets the better of him. He steps inside. The basement is narrow, damp, and reeks of cigarette smoke. As he moves deeper, he spots a bag lying on the floor. Inside, he finds something that instantly turns the situation from unsettling to dangerous. A weapon, along with what appears to be illegal substances. Before he can process what he's discovered, he hears footsteps. Someone else is down there.
There's not a real reason for me to explore all of this stuff, to be honest. Oh, you know what? Before I leave, I did want to explore down here. It smells like smoke, like a cigarette. I don't know if that's outside or down here, because it is drafty. I don't know. What is that? Oh shit, somebody's definitely down here. It's a bottle of alcohol in a bag. Oh shit, dude. Are you kidding me? This is crack. I don't even want to touch this stuff. And a gun. That's crazy. Hello? I don't see nobody. Alright,
With no time to escape, Chris hides behind a door, barely breathing. Moments later, two men enter the basement and head straight for the bag. They're calm, familiar with the space, and clearly know exactly what they're looking for. If they notice him, there's no telling how this ends. Chris stays perfectly still as they retrieve their belongings and leave, unaware they were being watched the entire time. Once the footsteps fade, he doesn't hesitate. He escapes the building as fast as possible, shaken but unharmed. This video is a brutal reminder that abandoned places aren't always empty. Some are still being used, not by ghosts, but by people involved in dangerous and illegal activity. Urban exploration isn't just about decaying structures or lost history. Sometimes it puts you face to face with real-world danger. And the most terrifying thing you can find inside an abandoned building isn't something paranormal. It's someone who doesn't want to be seen. The next unsettling clip comes from a creator known as Gorilla Hot Tortilla, a channel run by Hansi, whose explorations often blur the line between urban decay and the paranormal. Unlike most explorers, Hansi usually goes in alone, documenting abandoned houses and forgotten buildings where strange coincidences seem to follow him. On October 22, 2023, he steps into what appears to be just another empty house, expecting nothing more than peeling paint and silence. At first, that's exactly what he gets. The rooms are still, the air heavy, the kind of quiet that feels normal in places long left behind. But the mood shifts the moment he reaches the living area. Without warning, a small music box begins to play on its own, its tune echoing through the empty space. Almost simultaneously, a cabinet door slowly swings open nearby. Hansi checks the box, expecting a mechanical fault or loose switch, but everything appears intact. There's no obvious reason for it to be playing. As he decides it's best to leave, the situation escalates fast. A metal cross crashes to the floor. A cardboard box falls, striking his leg, and once again, the music box starts up, as if triggered by his movement. When he tries to exit the way he came in, the door won't budge. Panic sets in, and with no other option, he scrambles out through a window, leaving the house behind. This video comes from Nolan, a veteran urban explorer known online as the creator behind Lord Explores. For nearly 7 years, Nolan has built a reputation for venturing into abandoned places most people wouldn't dare enter, calmly navigating decay, darkness, and danger. Fear rarely rattles him, but this exploration would be different. On January 19, 2024, Nolan and fellow explorer Obsolete set out to investigate a long-abandoned hotel, a place rumored to be actively occupied by squatters and unhoused individuals. The day was cold and quiet, the kind of stillness that makes every sound feel louder than it should. As they entered the building and began documenting their surroundings, the hotel appeared frozen in time. In one of the first rooms they explored, they found signs of recent human presence, clothes strewn across the floor, a DVD player, personal cards, and a bag that looked as if it had been used daily. Then they discovered something far more unsettling. Handwritten notes left behind, messages asking someone not to disturb belongings, warning that the writer would return. Suddenly, the space no longer felt abandoned. It felt occupied.
Like, there's this one laptop in this room. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. It smells like cigarettes and there's a bunch of clothes. Check this stuff out. Almost looks like a school bag. And then there's the DVD player. Oh, there's a spoon. Is that a... Oh my gosh.
Dude, read this.
What does it say?
Paul, I'll be back if you can please try and stay at OTB as much as possible because I have the eggs and I don't want anyone going through my stuff. If you come out the tent zipper, it's shut, I'll be back.
What?
What the heck?
So whoever... That's kind of creepy. You see this?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm...
Yo. Let's go.
Where are we going? There's a staircase to the left.
What is that? Let's see where they go.
Was that one person or two?
I don't know. Did they hear us?
We can hear them.
I hear them.
Despite the unease, they continued deeper into the hotel, moving cautiously through hallways lined with peeling paint and silence. That's when the sounds began. Footsteps echoed from directly above them. Not distant, not imagined. Clear, deliberate movement. Remembering the rumors, Nolan and Obsolete stopped talking and listened, trying to determine how many people might be inside and where the nearest exits were. As the footsteps moved closer, they quietly slipped into a nearby room and locked the door. While hiding, Obsolete noticed something that made the situation far worse.
That doesn't sound like explorers.
No, it sounds like the guy that lived in there. To be honest.
Put that back in the door.
There's an ID.
There's blood in the bathtub.
There's what?
Blood in the bathtub.
There's blood. That smells horrible.
Look at the spider webs.
What's up, man?
What up, man?
We're just exploring.
Yeah, be careful, man. There's shit all over the place.
Oh yeah, we were seeing it. We'll leave you be. Sorry about that.
Fresh blood smeared inside the bathroom, the smell sharp and unmistakable. The realization hit hard. Someone had been here very recently. They stayed silent for several minutes, hearts racing, waiting to hear if anyone would try the door. When the noise faded, they cautiously stepped back into the hallway, choosing to relocate to another section of the building. Soon after, they encountered two individuals living inside the hotel. Nolan made his presence known immediately, speaking calmly and respectfully. Thankfully, the interaction remained peaceful, and the two explorers were allowed to pass without incident. Believing the danger had passed, they pushed further into the structure. That confidence didn't last long.
Oh, this is the lobby. Yo.
Grand ballroom. Yo, we gotta go on this grand ballroom.
Ballroom, yeah, let's check it out. Whoa. Oh, this is sick. This is probably where they had parties and little seminars. Rent this out, get all the people to stay at the hotel.
So I ran away.
Is there someone in there?
I don't know. I wasn't trying to find out. I was about to walk through the doorway and I heard something like... And I was like...
Okay.
And the way I was standing, there was like stuff behind me. And I was like...
Yo.
Hello?
Maybe best to leave it.
Yeah.
Let's continue. She just heard something in there moving, so.
Wait, what?
So we're gonna leave this room anyway. Gonna keep looking. Light. So we just realized we're in the hallway that we heard the noise when we walked in. And I swear I heard something down there. There's definitely someone, at least one person. And they had a light, like a lantern that was on.
No, why don't you just close the door?
I don't know.
Let's get out of here.
That was f***ing weird. Look at the little lamp.
That was not here either.
What the f-
Who was redecorating when we were inside?
Dude.
I feel like we weren't even here that long.
There's a lamp upstairs, there's a lamp out here. There's a f***ing a light that... Look at them all.
Smell that cigarette?
Look, there's two of them.
Smell a cigarette?
Yeah. There's two.
While Obsolete explored a kitchen area alone, she suddenly heard movement nearby, close enough to feel intentional. She didn't wait to investigate. She ran, meeting Nolan and calling out to see if anyone would respond. No one did. Deciding it was time to leave that section of the building, they headed toward another exit, which required passing through a narrow hallway. As they moved quietly through it, they spotted something taped to a door, a handwritten sign reading, "Please don't come here. If you do, be ready." The message sent a chill through them. Against their better judgment, they briefly shined a flashlight inside the room before quickly backing away, choosing not to test their luck. Moments later, they noticed a faint glow further down the hall, a light that hadn't been there before. Inside the room sat a figure, barely visible, illuminated by a lantern-like glow. Panic took over. Without stopping to ask questions or get a closer look, they fled downstairs. When they tried to regroup in another room, they realized something was very wrong. New lights were on. Objects appeared to have been moved. The smell of cigarette smoke hung in the air. Footprints marked the floor. Someone had been shifting around the building while they were inside it. The truth became terrifyingly clear. They weren't just sharing the space. They were being watched. Nolan and Obsolete didn't hesitate any longer. They exited the building as quickly as possible, escaping before whatever or whoever was tracking their movements decided to make contact. Both explorers made it out unharmed, but the experience left a permanent mark. The hotel wasn't haunted by ghosts. It was occupied by something far more unpredictable. And sometimes, the most dangerous thing inside an abandoned place isn't the structure itself. It's the people hiding in the dark, watching and waiting. This encounter begins inside the abandoned Empire Computex School, a long-forgotten building tucked away in a struggling neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio. From the outside, the structure already looks unstable, worn down by years of neglect and exposure. Urban explorer Chris enters the building expecting decay, but not what he's about to uncover. As his camera rolls, it captures a grim snapshot of the interior. Standing water covering parts of the floor. Walls blistered and peeling, rusted metal jutting from broken fixtures, and debris scattered as if the building was abandoned in a hurry. The silence inside is heavy, broken only by the echo of his footsteps bouncing through empty hallways. Not long into the exploration, Chris begins to hear sounds that don't belong to the building itself. Subtle at first, then clearer. Movement. Following the noise carefully, he freezes when he notices a second light flickering in the distance. Another flashlight. That's when the realization sets in. Someone else is inside the school. With no way of knowing whether the person is another explorer or someone living there, Chris chooses caution over confrontation. He avoids making noise and quietly heads upstairs, hoping to stay out of sight. On the upper level, he finds something unsettlingly recent. Whiteboards still mounted on the walls are marked with fresh chalk writing, as if the room had been used not long ago. The discovery confirms his fear. The building isn't empty. As he steps back into the hallway, another disturbing detail stops him cold. Lockers he had passed earlier, which were hanging open and broken, are now completely shut. There was no sound, no footsteps, no indication anyone had moved through the space. Yet something clearly had. Confused and unsettled, Chris decides it's time to leave and begins descending the stairwell. It isn't until later, while reviewing his footage, that he notices something he missed in the moment. In one frame, a human-shaped figure appears seated in a chair that hadn't been there before. The silhouette is still, watching, and disturbingly close. Whether it was the same person he saw earlier or someone else entirely is impossible to say. The realization that someone may have been observing him silently for most of the exploration adds a chilling new layer to the experience.
Why? See, this is what I don't understand. Damn, it's dark as fuck down here.
Chris manages to exit the school without incident, but the footage leaves behind more questions than answers. Who was inside the building with him that night? Why did they stay hidden? And what would have happened if he had crossed paths with them face to face? From this point forward, the discoveries only become more unsettling, lingering in the viewer's mind long after the video ends. Because what Chris captured inside that school wasn't just decay. It was the unmistakable presence of someone who never wanted to be seen. This encounter comes from the YouTube channel Decaying Ace, a creator known for documenting abandoned and restricted locations where forgotten history and modern danger often collide. On June 18, 2023, Ace and his group set out to explore an abandoned steel treating plant, a massive industrial site with a reputation that stretches far beyond rusted machinery. The property had been tied to violent crime, drug activity, and recent police operations, but at the time, the group didn't yet understand just how risky the situation truly was. As they entered the building, the atmosphere immediately felt off. The basement alone stretched far beyond what they expected, cluttered with debris, broken materials, and signs that someone had been using parts of the structure as a living space. Makeshift bedding, trash piles, and improvised setups suggested the building wasn't as abandoned as it appeared. Moving upstairs only reinforced that feeling, with junk scattered across multiple levels and clear evidence of ongoing human activity. Before long, their suspicions were confirmed.
Jeremiah's just setting up his gimbal. We're in the basement. This is a steel treating plant today.
Sometimes when urban exploring, you run into homeless people. It's no big deal, we just stay out of their way and they stay out of ours. Looks like someone might live in here. Looks like that was a wall or maybe a hammock. I'm not sure.
Oh, look at that skylight. That's pretty cool. I don't want to get too far away from everybody, but this is really neat.
I'm an urban explorer. Is it alright if we walk around a bit and take a few more pictures? Or we do not to? No. Alright, open we are right then.
Dude up there.
Yeah, I know, we were yelling at you because we heard something and we just kept going. So are we going to come up?
That's just so risky.
Let's just be quiet. So there's a homeless guy up here.
We're just hoping to take some videos. We're not looking to bother you, and we'll leave you alone. We don't want any trouble. We won't film any of our videos. We're just here to take some videos of this place here. Why? Because we do what's called urban exploring. So we pretty much show people abandoned buildings, and they think it's. Huh? Is it big?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger than this one.
Really? Goodyear? Did you say the Goodyear building?
On the east end.
On the east end, you said? Yeah, again, we don't want to cause you no problems. We're not here to bother you. We just want to take some videos of this place.
And we'll be gone before you know it.
Right, we'll be quick. We won't even come over on your side if you don't want.
Yep.
You just want to go around the whole building?
Yeah, just walk around. But when we drove to the building that the homeless guy told us about, this is what happened.
No point looking now. Get on with it. Bro, just get in. Just.
We explained ourselves and the security ended up being pretty nice to us. But needless to say, do not go to this building. It is extremely dangerous, and we had no idea just how dangerous until these security guards explained it to us. The building has seen numerous drug busts and murders in the recent year, and it was even raided by the SWAT team last month.
One of Ace's friends encountered a man inside the building who appeared to be living there and was clearly unhappy about their presence. The group calmly explained they were urban explorers hoping to take a few photos, but the man insisted they leave immediately. Wanting to avoid escalation, they agreed to move to another area of the plant and keep their distance. Even after relocating, the tension didn't ease. They could still hear movement nearby, unsure whether the man was alone or if others were with him. Every sound echoed through the metal corridors, making it difficult to tell how close anyone really was. As they attempted to quietly continue filming, the same individual appeared again, this time more confrontational. The group tried to de-escalate, reassuring him they meant no harm and would leave soon. Then, unexpectedly, he suggested they explore a different abandoned building nearby, claiming it was larger and more interesting than the one they were in. Faced with a dead end and wanting to respect the space of someone clearly living there, the group decided to leave and follow his suggestion. But that decision almost immediately proved to be a mistake. When they arrived at the second location, security quickly intervened and ordered them out. Unlike the earlier encounter, this warning came with serious weight. Guards explained that the building was extremely dangerous, tied to multiple drug busts, recent murders, and even a SWAT raid just weeks prior. The group had unknowingly stepped into an area still very much active and not in a safe way. Thankfully, they left without incident, shaken but unharmed. But one question lingered long after they drove away. Why had the man inside the first building directed them there? Was he simply trying to protect his own space and push them away, or did he know exactly what kind of danger waited inside that second structure? The answer remains unclear. What this exploration ultimately revealed is a hard truth about urban exploring. Abandoned doesn't always mean empty, and curiosity can sometimes lead straight into places you were never meant to find. This was all for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and like. See you soon.